Gentlemen, please welcome Microsoft's Corporate Vice President, Worldwide Partner Group, John Roskill.
All right, good morning, everyone. WWDC 2012. So we got a really cool section coming up next. It's literally something that we've titled Next. And I'm going to go ahead and invite Steve Clayton to come on out here and join me for it. Come on out, Steve. This is the first time we've done this format, so I think it's going to be really fun for everybody.
Morning, John.
Hey, good to see you.
You too.
All right.
So, John, I get to spend my time at the company, as you know, looking into the future, working with our scientists, working with our research labs, and really taking a look over the horizon at what's coming down the line. So we wanted to take a few minutes and show the audience here, 16,000 people, some of the coolest technologies that are coming next from Microsoft.
Okay.
So let's head over here. We're actually going to start with Stefan, who's going to show us some of the stuff that we have right now, actually, with Bing. So we're going to start with some stuff that's right here and now. Steve Ballmer yesterday talked about the investments we're making around social with Bing. Hey, Stefan, how's it going?
Very good, thanks. Good to see you, John.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Show us what's been going on with Bing and the social integration.
You bet. So we were asked to think about how we could remake search, how we could actually reboot search. And one of the ways we thought about that was asking ourselves how we make decisions, how we do things in real life. And what that comes down to in many cases, as we all know, is asking other people. And so inside of Bing now, what we've done is brought people inside the search experience and really made people as important as pages. So you can see here, for example, I'm in Toronto. I want to have some good Italian food tonight. I do a quick query for Toronto Italian. Bing knows I'm thinking about restaurants. It gives me some options here. But look at the right-hand side. This is something we call Sidebar. And Sidebar allows you to see which of your friends may be able to help you with that particular query. So you can see here I have a few friends who have lived in Toronto. So I have Jeff, Rachel, Derek, etc. And I can literally go ahead and add Rachel to this query and say, which one should I go to? If I could type, should I go to? And when I hit post, that's going to post out to Rachel's wall on Facebook. She'll get a notification, and she can comment on that back and forth with me, both on Facebook and inside Bing. So really a way to help to mimic how we make decisions in real life through that sidebar. But it's not just folks that I know. Because we believe now people are important as pages, look what we have down here. It's not just folks that I know, it's other people who might be able to help me with that query. In this case, look, I see Andrew Dobson is an expert about Toronto Italian restaurants, and he's got a few different Italian restaurant reviews right here. I can see Jen Chan, same thing. I can see Toronto City Gossip, same thing. Look at all the different options I have. We're literally now showing people who might know that I don't know who can help me with that particular query.
So it's combining the expertise of the web with the expertise of your friends, Stefan.
That's exactly right. And that's just the way you do things in real life. You ask people all the time. But it's not just about people. I mean, Steve talked a lot about social, but it's also about understanding the web is more than just a collection of pages. The web really is a representation of the real world that we live in. So, for example, I know you're heading to New York at the end of the week, and I know you like Midtown because you like to see shows whenever you go there. You're a big Stomp fan. So here I can see I've done a query for hotels New York Midtown. But look what's happening. I'm scrolling down. I'm seeing all these new beautiful search results. They look great. But look, as I hover over these things, look what's happening. It's literally giving me more information about that right here because we know the Stay Hotel is an actual place, and those places have characteristics. Hotels, you care about things like rates for particular dates, where it's located. I can step inside and see the inside of the hotel. I can get reviews. Literally helping you do, not just find. And that's the big thing with Bing now, is helping you get stuff done, not just helping you find information on the web. But it even shows up in more kind of little small ways. And for example, Coldplay, I'm looking here. I do a query. I see their official site. That's all great and wonderful. But check it out. If I hover over the events here, this information appears nowhere on this actual page. We've taken information from other places across the web and brought that in because we understand Coldplay is a band, bands have events. In this case, I can see the actual concert coming up here, right here in this venue, inside of the Air Canada Centre in a couple of weeks. I can buy the tickets right from here. Again, helping you get that stuff done.
But do you think they're going to get as many people as we got?
I don't think so. This is a packed house, I think. And I could sing some songs if that would be helpful.
Maybe not today, Stefan.
Oh, sure?
What else do you have to show us on the phone?
So let's talk about some research tech transfer that we've seen as well. So mobile's obviously a huge area for us. And so we want to go ahead and take a look at this. One of the things that I know is problematic for Steve as he travels a lot is understanding what he's looking at. In this case, you were at a French restaurant a few nights ago.
John and I were trying to get some French food last night. We're not very good with French.
Or English. So let's take a look at... No, you're fine with English, Steve. Just a funny accent. So here I can actually see Microsoft Translator for Windows Phone. Now, what's happening here is I'm actually able to go ahead and take a look at this. I'm looking at this page right here. Is everyone able to see that? I don't see it on the display. No one's able to see that. Well, maybe the camera can come over here and just get up close and personal. Or we'll just try the old unplug, replug trick and see if that works better for us.
Little display problem.
You know, I'm guessing we have a problem with, there's too many phones in here. I'm just going to make things up now.
We have a lot of phones in here.
There's a lot of phones.
We have a lot of Windows phones in here.
Oh, I know.
There you go.
We got it?
Good to go?
I think we were up. We were up momentarily.
Yay! Big hand for technology.
Bing
So check it out. Bing Translator. Look at this. I've got
So
this thing
this
right
is an
here.
app that they can download, right?
This is right now, real time. You can do this. I launch Bing Translator. I go ahead and click on camera. Watch this, folks. Here's the menu that you guys were looking at. I simply hover like that. Bing Translator detects that it's actually looking at text. And in real time, it's going to send the information to the cloud, translate that, and show me the English translation in just so quickly. Well, in real life, this works quite well. I'd encourage you all to download this and actually see this working in real life. Right now, it's
Come
taking...
on, Bing. Come on.
Oh, there we go. We have something for the two-person menu.
Okay, it's starting to translate.
It's okay. Don't worry. I have faith.
It's thinking about it. The cloud is thinking about
the
the
cloud is
translation.
stormy today. I saw some weather reports. The clouds were all messed up. There we go. Yay. Ring the bell. Ring the bell. Thank you very much.
Corn soup and chicken and the penguin duck. That sounds great.
This is not what you thought you were ordering, was it? Yeah, but I can freeze it there.
So what else do you have to show us, Stefan, on the phone?
This has been a good time, hasn't it? Hope you enjoyed as much as I have. So that's Translator. It works with your voice. It works with text. It works with everything. Give it a shot. The last thing I want to show you today is, again, some work we've done with MS Research around our PhotoSynth product. Now, PhotoSynth's a great app. It helps you actually zoom into detailed panoramas very simply. But now PhotoSynth on the Windows Phone, I'll rotate this just like this. What PhotoSynth on the Windows Phone now lets you do is I can literally tap it, and I can capture full high-res panoramas of the entire venue. So here, as you can see, I'm just simply moving the phone around, and PhotoSynth's capturing a bunch of different photos. And as I do this, what's happening is it's literally building a three-dimensional model of the actual place. Now, I could spend a little bit of time doing all this, but let me just show you what it looks like in the end. When you finish all that, you get something that looks a lot like this, which is this beautiful three-dimensional panorama that I can now spin around quite beautifully in. And, of course, the phone is loading. I think, Steve, you may have cursed this phone by being up here with me.
I didn't touch the phone, Stefan.
Well, I saw you looking at it with those. Okay. Well, so.
There it is.
No. So magically, what would happen in real life, had this phone been working properly, is you would be able to see this beautiful high-definition panorama, but don't take my word for it. Simply go to the Windows Phone Marketplace, download PhotoSynth application, and you can see it all on your own, right on your own phone.
Fantastic. Thanks, Stefan.
Thanks, guys.
Good to see you.
All right.
So, John, we are going to head down and see Dave Brown. Dave has joined us from our Microsoft Technology Center in the UK, and he's sat here with the Samsung SUR40 with Pixel Sense. So, Dave, show us what you've got here.
Thanks, Steve. So this is the Samsung SUR40 with Microsoft Pixel Sense, and I'm going to demonstrate briefly how I can use natural user interaction to navigate around the solar system and the surrounding universe. So what I've got here is a Chromeless UI, but I can use touch to start navigating around the interface here, and I can use a single touch, or I can use pinch zoom type gestures, multi-touch to rotate or zoom the camera, or combinations of all of the above. I can come up with some really fast, fluid, smooth gestures that would be really hard to do with a keyboard and a mouse. But I probably want to add some controls sooner or later, so I can just drag a control in from the edge of the screen. And this is a multi-directional platform, so I can drag in controls from any side of the screen, and they will face the appropriate direction for a user on that side of the device. And actually, I can change settings around the camera here. So, for example, I can pan the camera around in this way. And actually, I can get really in close here. Let's go and have a look at Lake Ontario there. Anyone here from Canada?
Anyone from Canada?
Yeah. So I can move out and look at the horizon from a point in space above Lake Ontario really, really easily just using touch. So let's zoom out a little bit more here. And you can see I can use this dial control to do that. I can use a single touch, or I can use multi-touch to do that. And if I drag in another control here, this control lets me change the field of view of the camera. Then I can use one hand to change this control, the other hand to change this control. And you can start coming up with some really interesting user interfaces when you've got this many touch points.
Could give you a bit of a God complex, though.
Yeah. So let's zoom out a little bit more. So this is where the moon is. This is the inner solar system. And I can drag on the background as well as the control here to come up with some really fluid gestures.
I think I like that, Dave.
Excellent. So let's hop over to Saturn. There's Saturn and its rings, and this is a live simulation of the solar system. I can actually unpause this, turn up time to about 1,000 times, and start looking around Saturn and its moons as I change time. So let's zoom out even further at this point. And one of the great things about PixelSense is it lets the device actually see what's going on above it. So I've got these transparent plastic discs here. When I place these on the screen, what you can see projected through them is a little crosshair, and I can move these around. They're directional. So if you're on a particular side of the device, you can orientate it appropriately, and I can get information about the stars underneath that crosshair by either moving the background or moving the plastic disc around. Only PixelSense can actually see what's going on above the table.
So this entire panel, Dave, the entire screen has a set of cameras as pixels.
Absolutely. 2 million cameras are embedded into the screen, and we stitch them together, produce an image of what's going on above the device. So finally, let's just have a look at the constellations. Now, most of us are familiar with the constellations, at least the lines. Let's zoom out a little bit. And actually, I really like to show the artwork here. So if I show these are beautiful images that were drawn about 300 years ago by a guy called Johann Sibelius. They're etchings. I could get really close in here and have a look at these beautiful, beautiful images around the sky. So let's just hop back to Earth again. I'll use another control to do that. And you can see it's still spinning around here, so I better turn down time just a little bit. I'll just pause time. And we've got a few satellites in orbit here, so I'll just select this one here. We'll zoom in, and what have we got here? Some of you might recognize this, actually. It's amazing what you can find in orbit around the planet Earth.
Dave, that's terrific. I think this is just a great example, John, of this trend that we're fascinated by in Microsoft, of the blending of the physical and the digital, the ability to put these physical objects on a digital device.
That's an amazing interface, I'm sure, lots of applications. What does one of these cost?
These are about $8,000. So come and talk to us at the SIC. We've got several PixelSense tables there. Have a look at the apps and find out which partners are using them the rest of the week.
All right.
Fantastic. Thanks, Dave.
All right.
Thank you.
So, John, I want to show you another demo up here of a technology called Fetch Climate. So let me just close out on this tab, make sure we're on the right screen. Fetch Climate is a great example of big data in action. We've heard a lot about big data.
Steve was talking about it. Yeah.
This is a project from Microsoft Research in Cambridge, where one of our researchers is actually an ecologist, a guy called Drew Purves. Drew has taken enormous amounts of data from the NOAA here in the US. He's taken it from the climatology labs in the UK, put hundreds of millions of rows of data into a cloud service on Azure. Let me show you what that enables him to do in terms of visualization, and people can go play with this right now. Imagine I'm an energy company, and I'm thinking about where I'm going to put wind farms somewhere in continental Europe. And I've got all of this data I want to look at, so I'm going to drill down over here. I'm going to say, actually what I want to look at is the near-surface wind speed, and I'd like to look at the data between the years, well, let's say 1981, and we'll take that forward into the 21st century, say to 2003, and I'm going to click on Fetch Data. So this is now querying hundreds of millions of rows of data, and you'll see almost instantaneously what we're going to get back is a visualization that tells that energy company, this is where you want to be putting your wind farms, because the average wind speed here is 7 miles an hour. You don't want to be putting them down here. So this is a great example of how you can take enormous amounts of data, put it into a cloud service, and then use it on demand, get the scalability of things like Azure and present it as a service.
And
so
it's something people can start working with today.
Something people can go play with today. Search for Fetch Climate on Bing.com, and it will take you to this service. You can have a play with it.
Okay.
Now, another angle on Microsoft Research Technologies, they often make their way into Microsoft products. But I wanted to invite Dave Fellows from Green Button, a partner in New Zealand, up onto the stage. Come on up, Dave.
Anyone from New Zealand? Woo!
Steve, good to see you.
see you.
Hey, John, how are you?
All right, good to see you.
Good to be
So
here.
Dave, tell us a little bit about Green Button. What do you guys do?
Yeah, so Green Button have developed an innovative set of middleware and tools for migrating compute-intensive workloads up into the cloud. And so Pixar's RenderMan software is a great example of this, where we scale up thousands of cores on Windows Azure for customers' jobs. Very cool. The Windows Azure, as we know, has a fairly large amount of computing power at its disposal. But did you know that Azure has more servers today than the entire planet did in 1999?
Wow.
Pretty incredible statistic for a
not
three-year-old
that long ago.
platform. No, amazing.
So you've been working with a Microsoft research technology called Mavis.
Yeah.
And Mavis is sort of a curious name. Tell us a little bit about Mavis.
Yeah, so Mavis, other than being my aunt, is actually an acronym. And at a Microsoft event, we need more acronyms, right? So it stands for Microsoft Research Audio Video Indexing Service. And so, today we're generating a huge amount of video content, but without being able to search that efficiently, then a lot of that just sort of dies away in the depths. And so Mavis allows us to search audio and video content the same way that we do text on the web today.
Oh, right.
And it uses a new generation of neural net algorithms along with Bing to adapt its vocabulary. So really, really smart technology.
Can you show it in action with one of your
I
customers?
certainly can. So incus.greenbutton.com is a website where you can sign up for the service. So Microsoft Research have partnered with Green Button to take this technology to market, and the service is called Green Button Incus. So here when you sign up, you can submit your media files to be indexed, and you can either upload those, or you can, if they already live in the cloud, then they can be referenced there as well. But I also encourage people to check out greenbutton.com, where you can learn a little bit more about the service, as well as about Green Button itself.
So let's see it in action from one of your customers.
Yeah, so I've been working with customers across the government, education and commercial sectors. The applicability of the technology is very, very far-reaching. But NASA Jet Propulsion Labs have prototyped Mavis and are now working with Green Button to pilot a service where videos become a core part of their research library. And in some cases actually be made available to the public. So if we flick over to this website here, this is where we can search for NASA's video content.
So what are we going to search for?
Well, I know I hear this term, the cloud. Have you
talk about the cloud?
You know anything about that, John?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Let's see what NASA thinks about the cloud.
Yeah, well, let's chuck that in there. Oh, right. And so this shows up all the videos where the term cloud has been spoken in that video. But the very cool thing is alongside each video, we list all the specific locations along with the conversation around that term where that term is spoken. So we can very quickly and very efficiently hone in on the specific area that we're trying to find.
So literally, if we click on one of these links, Dave, it's going to take us right to the point in the video where that person mentions the word cloud.
Exactly, and let's do just that. So let's listen to Jim Rinaldi, the CIO of NASA's Jet Propulsion Labs, talking about the cloud.
We've heard a lot about, we're doing some great things with the cloud. Yes, we want to have capacity on demand.
So we can see, like literally almost under a second as we jumped into that, he mentioned the word cloud. I think he's talking about cloud in a slightly different way than we do. But in terms of the capabilities of this, presumably you could run this across movies, you could run it across TV shows, and literally be able to just select a word or a phrase and it would jump you to that point in the show.
Absolutely, yeah. Very, very quick to find the information that you're looking for, so extremely, extremely powerful.
Great.
And so I encourage folks here in the audience to check it out. We're running a free trial at the moment. And so if you think your customers could benefit from having their media searchable, then we'd love to hear from you.
Right. Certainly something we can use.
Fantastic.
Sure. Okay.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Steve.
Yep,
always a
great.
pleasure.
Thank you again.
We'll see you next year.
All right.
Thanks.
So, John, we're going to change gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about Connect, one of my favorite things in the company. In fact, I'm going to invite Nicholas and Nicholas, two guys. Welcome them up, guys. Nicholas and Nicholas joining us from Men CTL,
Hey, guys.
a Connect accelerator startup from France. So I was going to ask you guys to explain what you do to John, but I think it would probably be easier if you just show John what you do with Connect.
Let us first show you.
Let's take a look.
If you can please help us and sit still for about 30
Still,
seconds.
John. Sit still.
It can be tough.
Yeah, relax.
It's so excited.
Nothing will happen. No hurt. All right, 30 seconds. What happened?
I don't know.
Oh,
Wait.
We lose the monitor again? There you go.
that is really good, monitor. All right, starting.
Let's go.
All right. So basically, our software transformed the Microsoft Kinect into a very low-cost 3D scanner by automatically estimating the position of the camera while I'm moving around you. So in real time, you can see a 3D model of yourself in color. So as I walk around you, we stitch together all the points of view until we get a full 3D model. That's it now. So what you see in real time is just a quick preview. And once we're done, we can finalize it.
So you can step up.
Can I move now?
Now you can move.
All right.
Thank you.
You can take a look at the 3D version of John Roskill. Not that we don't have a 3D version here, but we now have a digital 3D version.
There we go. Now I need to just put the voice on it.
So you see the path of the camera all over you when we're scanning.
So this is
Very
truly
cool.
the power of Kinect, something that started out as a device that people connected to their Xbox, and now through the power of Kinect for Windows, you can take this device, plug it into a PC, and with the Kinect SDK, you can build applications like this. But Nicholas, we're intrigued by what this thing is over here. So can you explain what this is all about?
Sure. So this is a 3D printer, and it allows you to transform digital 3D models into physical objects made of plastic, and that's just one example of what you can do with 3D scans.
So again, John, it's this blending of the physical and the digital worlds.
Yeah,
Does this guy look familiar?
yes.
This is a scan that we took of John. I don't know if we can get this on the camera.
Right here.
A scan we took of John earlier, and we printed it out as a 3D print.
Very cool, guys.
So it's not just about doing 3D printing. So these guys are doing some fascinating business applications with the technology, with the 3D printing technology. They will be down in the Solution Innovation Center. I'd encourage you to head down there, get yourself 3D printed, and take a look at Kinect for Windows. Thanks a lot, guys.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay.
So John, now I'd like to introduce you to David from Ubi Interactive, another one of our Kinect Accelerator startup partners. And they've done something radically different, but with the same technology. Dave.
Hey, John.
Hey.
Thanks
Great
for having
to
us
see
here.
you.
Likewise, Steve.
So tell us a little bit what you have here with Kinect for Windows, David.
Yeah, at Ubi Interactive, we enable interaction everywhere. What does it mean? It does mean that we turn any surface into a multi-touch screen. And let me describe the setup. It's pretty simple. We have a panel of frosted glass here. We have a projector back here. And we have a tripod where we mounted a Kinect for Windows on top.
So another Kinect. Yep.
Right.
Another Kinect, and this could just be a piece of glass that might be in a retail store window.
Right, a retail store window in a shopping mall, for
You're
example.
projecting on it.
Great, so
Yep.
let's show us what you can do.
Yeah, and we added a little piece of magic, which is our software, the UV engine, that enables you to track your finger on this surface. And we put a bundle of applications in here. So let me just show you something like gaming application that you might know.
Angry Birds, John, your favorite.
Angry Birds on the big store.
Right.
Excellent.
So, I mean, some of you know this from a tablet PC or from a small screen. We put it on a quite large screen. And yeah, you can play Angry Birds on a glass surface.
So David, literally this could work on any surface. It can work on glass, it could work on a wall, it could work on the floor, anywhere.
Okay. Let me give you one try.
The most expensive Angry Birds game in the world.
That's great. David, can you show us a couple of other applications that you've been able to enable on top of this? So literally just using the power of Kinect for Windows, being able to track David's fingers on the screen, on the wall, any type of surface.
I mean, so many applications come off of this.
Yeah, here we have a magazine application where you can browse through the pictures of a magazine by, for example, clicking the next page. You can also see the table of contents when you zoom in or go back. And I think what is very compelling, that is not only a touch screen or multi-touch screen, it's a 3D touch screen.
3D, show us what you mean by a 3D screen.
Yes, it means that I can literally hover over the surface without touching it.
Can you see that, everyone?
And yeah, then maybe take this
Nothing
page.
up his sleeve.
So literally, it doesn't even have to touch the surface because the Kinect for Windows sensor can track David's hand out in 3D space. So David, any other quick examples of other business applications that you foresee this being used for?
Right, so this is not only for gaming. As of now, we are working with customers in 2 market segments. One is office and workspace solutions, and the other one is digital signage and retail. And let me show you a video, which is 1 minute and describes a couple of the scenarios we are solving.
So I fully envisage using this at home to play Angry Birds full scale on my wall, but other applications that can be used in the office environment, in a retail environment, lots of commercial environments.
So this is a screen in a conference room that we turned interactive. Here you can see a coffee table with a tablecloth that we made to an interactive table for designers or architects.
Fantastic. David, it's another great example of this idea of natural user interfaces, John. Dave, thanks for joining us. Great to see you.
Awesome
Thanks for having us here.
Awesome.
Thanks.
So, John, I've got one more demo I want to show you and the audience, which frankly is probably my favorite demo over the last 2 or 3 years from Microsoft Research. It's a project called Illumisher, and to do this one, we're going to head in different directions.
Okay.
So you're going to head down here and join Corey.
Okay.
I'm going to head over and join Sasha, and on the way, Sasha's going to explain Illumisher to us.
Okay, let's go.
Thanks, Steve. This is going to be a hard act to follow with all these great demos, but we'll try. So over there, we just saw a demo that allows interaction on any surface, but why not the sharing of any surface? So that's what Illumisher does. It's this device right here that lets people who are remote share not only digital objects like we can do today, but also share physical objects and do so on any surface. So it looks a little bit like a lamp, and whatever this lamp lights up, it becomes shared.
Great.
So this is just a regular table.
IKEA.
You can buy it anywhere. IKEA's fine. And I've got a regular piece of paper on top of it. And you can see Illumisher is lighting up this piece of paper right here. There's another Illumisher across the arena where Corey and John are sitting, also pointed at a regular table. And now, whatever happens on one end is going to be visible in the other, and vice versa.
So let's see it in action, Sasha.
Okay, so one thing you can do is, for instance, I'll just grab a piece of paper here, and I'll just start playing a game of tic-tac-toe. So I'll just draw the board using a regular pen. And on the other side, Corey and John can start making moves. So Corey's putting her move in the middle, I'm going to follow in the corner. And you have to think about what's going on here. I'm using regular pen and paper on a regular table to collaborate with somebody over distance. And if you've seen videos of me before, you know I'm awesome at tic-tac-toe, so I always tend to lose. But that's just one quick thing about what we can do with this kind of device.
And it's cool stuff. And literally, Corey and John could be on the other side of the world, right? They could be in Sydney or Mumbai or anywhere.
That's right. So these Illumishares are just peripheral devices. They connect via USB and VGA to your laptop or any PC. And these laptops are right now connected to our network, so they could be anywhere in the world. And what you would normally have is something like a Skype video connection in front, so you can not only work together, but also see each other and talk to each other at the same time.
Great. Well, show us what else you can do with it, Sasha.
Well, for instance, we had a printout of a 3D model, right? And I don't know if you brought John's model. Oh, Corey put some dice down. So basically what we're doing is we can bring in any physical object that happens to be on our table into the interaction. So I have a printout, and I believe this is you, Steve.
I think that's me, unfortunately.
So I'm just going to put Steve down here, and I'm going to ask Corey to, if she wants to somehow augment Steve's model. Corey, what do you think?
Well, this model looks really great, but I think the eyes should be filled in. And the one thing that he's really missing is a Canadian maple leaf on his chest.
So again, we're bringing in physical objects. We can annotate them. We can point at them. We have a rich referential space to work together across distance.
So it really is this blending again of the physical and the digital world.
That's right. So you can imagine what's going on here is I have a physical object that's being displayed virtually over there, and Corey's able to interact with the physical object on my side, but she's doing it on her end.
So if you're an architect or a model maker, you're working with objects, it's just a great way to be able to do distributed collaboration.
That's right. And if you just think about the Mavis demo we just saw, you can record this whole session and not only index it with audio video, you can later index it by the actions we did. So where's the moment where Corey put the flag on your shirt, so that kind of stuff.
So can you show us another business example of this session?
Sure. So, in addition to bringing physical objects, I can bring in sort of diagrams that I created, and I happen to have a really rough sketch of an Illumisher architecture right here in front of me, so I'll just drop it on the surface.
Incredibly sophisticated architectural diagram.
Oh, yeah. We at Microsoft Research don't do anything technical. It's very technical, so, we try to stay away. But, at this point, I can say, hey, Corey, what do you think of this current architecture?
Well, I'm really excited at the point we're at in the project right now, but I think the next big step is we have to get rid of the custom infrastructure and integrate directly into Skype and Link.
That's right, and once Skype and Link and Illumisher are all integrated, you'll have not only audio-video collaboration, but you'll have sort of physical and digital collaboration on any surface, such as your tables, walls, floors if you want, any surface in your office.
Great. Well, John, I think you'll agree our collaboration partners in the room are going to be excited about this one.
Very cool. Very cool stuff, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Sasha.
you.
Thanks, Corey.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so great example of some things that you can do today, and they're over in the Solution Innovation Center, and some things that are coming at you, get you thinking about some of those new interfaces, the touch, what's going to happen with integrating some of these different UIs. So
we've got some great technology there. We're always looking over the horizon. If you want to come and take a look at more of this stuff, Microsoft.com/next is where I'm writing about this stuff every day. But hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll be back with some more great technology next year.
Okay, Steve, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
John.
Absolutely. We asked you guys to fill in the evaluations. We will be basing what we do in next year's WPC based on your evaluation feedback. So if you enjoyed this session, give it some good ratings, and I promise you we'll have it back. So I just want to wrap up quickly. Great morning for day 2 is done. We saw Satya, and Satya talked about some of the cool new stuff we're doing in the data center space, cloud data center. You also heard from Kirill. Kirill showed, the thing I really loved in what Kirill showed is the Metro UI applied to a business application, ERP, CRM, very, very neat stuff. Laura Ibsen then touched on the various national plans programs we're doing, but she hit on something that I think is very important for partners to take advantage of. It's the thing she called Make Your Cause Our Cause. Okay, that's where you can go up and register the nonprofit or charity that you are working with, and Microsoft will match your efforts with software. Okay, unlimited. It really is a pretty amazing thing. So if you want to take advantage of that, you can go look on WPC Connect, and you can find the Make Your Cause Our Cause link from there, and it'll take you to our citizenship site. Okay, and then we saw the great Windows Phone 8. Really neat stuff there with security, getting ready for business and commerce. And then we wrapped up with Steve Clayton's next session. This afternoon, we have another set of keynotes, followed by breakouts. And then this evening is the regional evening. So get out, hang out with your friends from your region. Have a great rest of the day, too. And we'll see you back here with fantastic day 3 tomorrow. Thank you very much.